Hello everyone, Russ of Aquarimax Pets here. An unboxing from Bugs in Cyberspace. I've been chatting about this one a bit, and I've been chatting with Peter and Jesse about this, and really excited. Bugs in Cyberspace. If you haven't tried them out yet, this is an awesome place to get your arthropods and arthropod supplies. And on the other side, a Sky Island Adventures, an awesome place to go see arthropods and other critters in the wild. I've done it twice and had an absolute blast both times. And I hope to do it very soon again. All right, I'm gonna move a few things around here, make this easier to do. Wow, there's a lot in here. Okay, let's start out with this one, shall we? Five small diving beetles. What I've decided to do, Jesse gave me a good idea. It can be hard to see the critters when I put them directly in the tank. And so I want to put them elsewhere so you can see them. There's one. I love these tiny ones. They're very small. They're a lot of fun. Let's see, there's five in here. I see at least a couple. You can see one zipping around. This one got stuck on the surface tension a little bit. There we go. Doing a little better now. Let's see. Oh, I think this is the long-legged diver beetle. Is that the long-toed one? Is that what they call them? Some of them don't swim extraordinarily well, but they live in the water all the same. And I believe that's the one down at the bottom there that does that. See another one right there. Really tiny. Some of these have the same sort of general pattern as the sunburst diving beetles, which is awesome. So much fun. There we go. I figured if I do it this way, it's easier to see them. And Jesse gave me this idea to help some of the creatures acclimate better if you put them in water first before you put them in the tank. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And there we go. Those of you who are unfamiliar with duckweed, that's the plant you're seeing here. It grows in my tank. Eight water boatmen, awesome. I'm a fan of the water boatmen. They're a lot of fun. These are true bugs, the water boatmen, not beetles. Very, very active. Very visible in the tank. See how many I got in there? 5 of them so far. There's another one. 6. 7. There's number 8. You see a lot of activity right now, and you'll see a lot of activity in the main tank. We will get some shots, of course, of the main tank once we've done this unboxing. I'm going to preserve this material because I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I can check it again. You can see why they're called water boatmen. They're like little canoes with little oars. Very cool little critters. right here. Oh, I should put these in the tank. 10 assorted diving beetles and 6 Troposternus. Troposternus are a smaller beetle, so I need to keep my eye out for 16. I really love the diving beetles. They're sort of the lifeblood of a tank like this in many ways. They're very visible, very active. Come in so many different colors. We got some bandeds. There's a banded one. Let's see, we go. Got 3 of them there. Some of them can give you just a tiny nip, but it's not a huge deal. Some of the water bugs that I work with can give you more than a tiny nip, but these are not among them. I think that was a Troposternus? Here's my favorite of all the water beetles right here. If I can get it. Can't see it right now from the top. The sunburst diving beetle right there. Such amazing color. You can't really get an idea of how it looks until you've seen it in the tank. But oh, one of them just jumped out because I had the lid. The lid wasn't on. So I've got 6 in here. I'm going to go put these in the tank. So I should find 10 more in here. Again, it's one of the great things about these beetles is the activity, but one is the diversity, size, shape, pattern, colors. Some of them look quite silver under the water. Some have like the sunbursts are just so colorful. They're really fantastic and very active. They'll crawl up onto I have some cork bark and other wood haul out, another wood haul out in there that they can use. And it's fun to see them doing all those different things. They're the first ones to the food, or among the first, I should say, to the food. I think the whirligigs are just as fast as these guys to the food. Okay, if I'm counting correctly, there should be one more in here. And I may not be counting correctly. I'm just looking carefully to see what we got here. And I will give that another once over. But there we go. Look at that sunburst diving beetle right there. Even better under good light. Okay, put these in. Okay. I always say everything's my favorite, and that's probably because everything is, but these whirligigs, the giant whirligigs, are among my favorites because they're so active on the surface. They are pretty reactive too, in that if you approach the tank and you surprise them, look at that. Look at that movement. You can even hear it. Listen to that. Like popcorn almost. I'm going to put these in directly into the tank now because that's 4 of them. They'll dive down to the bottom sometimes if they're surprised when you get too close to the tank, if they're startled. And that's fun. They look kind of silvery when they do that. And they're very voracious feeders. They will just grab fruit flies right off the surface of the water. Just extremely voracious eaters. They'll take other insects off the surface of the water too, generally small, soft-bodied insects. I'm going to put those in. One thing I learned is that you can't let too much duckweed grow with these guys. That is a bad thing. So I'm going to, it seems to not be very good for them, and I lost some that way. So I'm going to make sure that I have less duckweed in the tank with these here. Learn my lesson with that. All right. Something seems pretty heavy in here. Oh, that's just the ice pack. No wonder it was so heavy. The ice pack. Okay. I'm not done. Oh, I really hope this one did well. Last time that sent these, it was warmer weather and didn't do as well, but oh, it's doing just fine now. It looks like creeper is another true bug, unlike the beetles, but like the water boatman you saw earlier. This is a true bug, a creeping water bug. It looks a lot like a giant water bug, or more like a ferocious water bug, and it's related. But these are more communal. You can't keep a giant water bug in a tank like the one I'm putting together here. I have a giant water bug and a ferocious water bug. You can check out my video on that. My videos that show those. I have those, but in separate tanks. You wouldn't want to keep them with these other bugs, so they just get eaten. But this guy will do fine. So that's exciting that one looks to be doing very, very well indeed. Okay, I love this one. I got one of these last time and it was doing really well. It arrived in extremely good shape and was doing well for a while, but then suddenly passed, and I'm not sure why. Just, sometimes insects do that. You don't know what the lifespan is. This is a giant scavenger beetle. You can see it's quite large. Not as big as a giant water bug, but it is big. It is big. And I'm going to put it in. One nice thing about these is they will help control some of the fast-growing plants like the duckweed. I think they control the duckweed. That's what I remember from last time. And the water lettuce that I grow in the tank. They don't seem to bother the anubias or other plants like that. So I'm going to put this directly into the tank now. Really get a kick out of those, the giant scavenger beetles. They add a really cool effect to the tank, and they're impressive with their size. Now, we're going to do these 20 plus small back swimmers. I love these. When I first got a tank, I had these. Peter and Jesse sent me some of these. But we had a problem, and the problem was that I had a tank, I had a filter that was too strong for them, and they did not survive with the powerful filter. And I replaced the powerful filter, but haven't gotten a chance to try these out since. They can be quite seasonal, and so we're going to try this out now. But I have replaced the filter with a sponge filter, so there's no danger of them being sucked up. Just kind of a light airflow in there, and I'm going to do I do typically weekly partial water changes to keep the water in good shape. So that should be just fine, and I won't have to worry about them being sucked up. I do have to worry about them potentially hopping out of here, getting lost. So I'm trying to be quite careful with that. And as I was starting to say before I got distracted by all these lovely critters, that Jesse said that before you put them into the main tank, put them in another small container of water separately, let them acclimate just a bit. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm probably going to end up with some moss in there, and I don't care. That's fine. A little bit of that moss in the tank will be fine. Let's take a look at these. These are so fun. Little back swimmers. These are the ones, these will breed in the tank. If they're doing well, they will breed in the tank, which I'm really excited about. Some of them are quite capable of maintaining populations and multi-generations in an aquatic tank without too much effort, and this is one of them. So when people ask, can you breed any of those? Yeah, this is one of them that you can breed quite easily. So some of the others would take a little bit more effort. This one shouldn't take much. There's a couple more right there. I put the moss in a different container so that I could make sure not to miss any. Seeing if anybody let go of the moss here. Yep, there's another one. There's another, at least 3 of them, maybe more, in here. So there's one. There's 2. Yeah, there's at least 4 in there. So I'm going to go through that process a couple times to make sure I don't miss any. It would be a crime to lose any of these little buggers. So I'm going to set this aside with the lid on it, because they can fly when they're adults anyway, quite capable of flight. I don't want that happening. Set those aside with a lid on it. Oh, there's one that hopped out. I'm going to put that in here. There it is. That's why it's nice to do it on a piece of paper towel, because you might get some plant bits on it, but you're likely to see the bugs moving around. So, oh, sorry about that. Now I have 2 with a lid on it. Should be good. And I'll get another container. Oh, sweet. Thought this might be what was next. This is not a beetle, not a true bug. Everything so far that I can recall that has been in this unboxing is either a beetle or a true bug. These are not, neither. These are a crustacean. Fun little crustacean. These are ostracods, also known as seed shrimp. Seed shrimp are a pretty fun little critter to have in the ecosystem. They're quite tiny, and focusing on them is going to be tricky. But it looks like there's a couple of different species here, different shapes, and so on. These make a good part of the ecosystem, part of a cleanup crew. They serve as food for some of the creatures in here. They breed quickly, so these will be awesome, and they're just fun to spot crawling along the glass and down in the gravel, that kind of thing. Well, here's a shot of some of the giant whirligigs, getting along pretty nicely, I think. I've decreased the duckweed in here, and I'll just have to keep an eye on that and make sure I don't get excessive duckweed. Here are the ostracods acclimating. Going to let them acclimate temperature-wise for a little while before I open that bag. The water is just a little bit cloudy because of the recent removal of the filter and replacement of the filter that I did just a little while ago before the video. But you can see a lot of the creatures interacting here, moving around. You can see there's one of the sunburst diving beetles with a piece of fish food here. A couple more of them down here with a piece of fish food. Here's one of the banded diving beetles. Here's some of the really small diving beetles. They're sort of arguing over a piece of fish food. A lot of activity in the tank. Love to watch them feed. And it's going to be a few minutes, and then I can release the water bowman in here. So let's check that out. And I just released the back swimmers after an acclimation period in a separate container of an hour and a half, something like that. And it looks like we got some active little back swimmers. Pretty excited about that. And There's a water boatman right there. I'm happy that things seem to be settling in. I love the little alien look of these little guys. And thank you so much for watching. I post videos every Friday with live streams once a week as well. Please feel free to share, rate, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And then tap the bell for all notifications so you don't miss my next video. Invasion of the seed shrimp.